Night with a big performance at the Indie Rock Musician with Sir John Stevens and members of the Kennedy Center Opera House Orchestra. So that should be a big event. Derek?
Well, when you want to know what's going on in the world, we'd like to think that you turn to us, experienced TV journalists. But where do we broadcasters go to find out what's happening in our world? Would you believe a college kid with a laptop? Well, neither did I, until I met the very young face behind TVNewser.com.
When I started the blog, I was anonymous. I didn't want anybody to know I was a college student.
But by now, most everyone in television is in on Brian Stelter's little secret, that this baby-faced college kid is the creative force behind TVNewser.com, where insiders go to get the news about the TV news business.
Here's a tip telling me to check out a blog.
Stelter started writing TV Newser 3 years ago when he was a bored college freshman on winter break.
I was thinking of yelling at the TV screen, no one was listening. I wanted someone to listen to all my rants and complaints.
And surprisingly, says Stelter, more people than ever are still listening.
About 500,000 people click on the site at some point during the month. I think people are interested in who's on camera and what are they covering and what aren't they covering and, you know, who's hired, who's fired.
And sometimes even juicier stuff. Remember when a certain network doctored pictures of its new female anchor? Who do you think broke that story?
I got a tip that there was a magazine by CBS that made Katie Couric look a lot skinnier. So I took the two pictures side by side and put them up, and the next day they were on the cover of the New York Post.
But now, what began as a hobby has turned into a job. An internet company now pays Stelter a salary.
Enough to keep me in school, pretty much.
And Stelter no longer has the time to be bored.
If I don't post for a day, they'll email me and say, Brian, where are you?
When he's not blogging, and sometimes when he is, Brian Stelter is editor of the school newspaper here at Towson University. But when he was growing up as a kid in Damascus, Maryland, he says he was addicted to TV news. And his favorite station? Channel 9. So now that he has the inside scoop, has the glitter rubbed off of TV news? Not quite yet.
Well, in some ways I've become more cynical about TV, but in some ways I'm also even more fascinated by it.
And Stelter will graduate from Towson this spring. He says he's not sure exactly what he wants to do, but he expects to keep on blogging as long as it is still fun. And Tracy, he says, it is still fun, even though he has to do it practically 24 hours a day to keep TV Newser going all by himself.
Yes, because it's on 24 hours a day now.
It's on 24 hours a day, and people have expectations now.
Indeed, I bet they do. What was your favorite commercial during last night's Super Bowl? Well, we're going to have the winner of the USA Today's annual Super Bowl ad survey coming up on 9 News Now.
But first, two apples, kiss and make up. Find out how today's settlement affects whether you'll be able to find Beatles music on iTunes when 9 News Now returns.
America's can-do spirit. It's alive and well. Beginning tonight, Katie Couric reports on good people doing great things. Don't miss the American spirit on the CBS Evening News.
This is the all-new CRV, redesigned with a whole new viewpoint on styling and engineering. This is the Ridgeline, the first truck with a lockable in-bed trunk and a 5-star crash test safety rating. The Pilot, it seats 8 and has 244 horsepower. And the Element, which can reconfigure itself in 64 different ways. Honda Trucks, adding innovation to every adventure.
Michael Flatley's Lord of the Dance. The international phenomenon seen by over 100 million people around the world. Live in electrifying concert. February 23rd, 24th, and 25th, Warner Theater. The critics rave. Lord of the Dance is irresistible, spellbinding, and sensational. Tickets are on sale now at the Warner box office. All Ticketmaster locations, charged by phone or online. Don't miss Michael Flatley's Lord of the Dance.
I love using this now.
Sending pictures is so much easier.
Now, this really rocks.
What a difference Verizon Online DSL makes. It's just $21.99 a month for 1 year for all that speed. So you can really enjoy your computer, camera, and tons of other stuff.
I click,
and I'm online right away. DSL is so fast. I can open and send photos with none of the hassles that has with dial-up.
I'm talking, she's surfing,
And shopping.
and shopping. I can get with the program and get music like the rest of the world.
It costs a lot less than most of those cable companies.
I'm paying $21.99 a month for my Verizon DSL.
Call Call 1-866-557-5285 to sign up for just $21.99 a month for 1 year. Compare that to what cable charges. So call 1-866-557-5285 for the best value in broadband.
I can't believe I had dial-up for so long on this baby. Bye-bye, dial-up.
Phone,